Hi guys, it's me, Danny. I am out here at Soldier Field. I I am out here right now because I was supposed to be here last week to watch a soccer match, a Chicago Fire soccer match, and I was very excited. I was going to make my episode about the semifinals of the World Cup, and I was going to do like a little whole thing about the soccer match that I was going to watch. But that game got canceled on Thursday because of the really bad smoke that was going through the city that day. So the game got canceled. I didn't get to come out to Soldier Field. I decided to hold off on my episode that week about the World Cup, and I just decided to wait it out till this week. That's why I'm out here. And guys, I have to tell you, the World Cup is over, and I'm so sad about it that it's over. Now we have to wait 4 more years for another World Cup. And I have to say, I guess I do understand why they make it every 4 years because the build up, the wait, the longing for another World Cup, for how much fun it is makes it worth it. You know, if it was like every year or every other year, it wouldn't be as fun, I think. And also, like, the countries have to prepare for whatever situation the World Cup is going to be in their country. But the next World Cup is going to be in 2030, and it's going to be between Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. So that is that. But let's talk about this World Cup because it ended on Sunday, July 19th. That final game was between Spain and Argentina, and it was kind of very crazy. I think okay, so the Argentina Spain happened on Sunday, and then but Saturday was the third place match between France and England, and that game itself was way better. There were 10 goals in that game. I think they decided to just play for fun, France and England, and they played as friends. And I think it was England ended 6 goals and France ended four, so the game ended 6-4, and it was like a very fun game. And then at the end of the game, everyone went to hug everybody, and that was just a game for fun, right? Nothing was at stake, so I think the players just decided to like let it go. And then on Sunday, the big day, the match happened between Argentina and Spain, and I have to say, I was thinking Argentina was going to win. It seemed like everything was set up for them to win and for them to like crown Lionel Messi as the king of soccer, as the goat, you know, which I will say, I do think Lionel Messi is the king of soccer and the goat, but I think that everything that led up to them being at the final was just everything was so messy and so like weird that it kind of took away from him and from the attention that he deserved, right? And the conversation turned around a lot to whether if it was fair, if the games were fair, if the games were rigged, if the FIFA was planning it so that Argentina was going to win, right? For the money, for the merch that they were going to sell, for just having someone that they could make money off of his image, you know? So I did think Argentina was going to win, and I didn't think it was going to be like a fair game, right? I thought that it was going to be set up for them to win with all the help of the referees and that, you know. But it wasn't like that. Spain won. Spain won 1-0 against Argentina, and the stadium was kind of turned upside down. It was crazy. The game itself, I saw most of it, but I had to like leave because they went into extra time. So the 90 minutes ended up 0-0. It was very boring game. You could tell that no one wanted to score a goal, or no one wanted a goal to be scored. So both teams were just kind of like throwing the ball around, and nothing was happening. It was a very like not interesting game until the player got. The red card. There was Enzo got a red card for almost killing the Spanish player. He like threw him real bad, and so he got that red card. And then there was that moment where Messi accused one of the Spanish stars. Mark Cucurella of covering his mouth, and it became like a whole thing, right? Like clearly the tension was there between the two teams, but there was not much game. Like nothing was really happening. Like there were no goals happening, and it was not like an interesting match altogether. But at the end, they went to extra times, and I thought they were going to go to penalty kicks, but that didn't happen. They ended up Spain ended up scoring the goal at the very last minute of the extra times, and the game ended. And I think one of the most just interesting images of the what happened after the game ended is that scene where Lamine Jamal is praying, and then the Argentinian player Leandro Paredes comes up to another player and pushes him, and then throws a punch, and then grabs him by the neck. And what the hell? Like, so anti-sport. Like, it was kind of crazy that that happened. And then one of the Argentinian coaches also came out and threw a punch at a Spanish player. And what the hell? That was very crazy. Things really did get out of control, and I think the expectation was so set on Argentina winning that when they didn't win, even the players were surprised. So they like really, really lost control, and that kind of really sucks. And now there could be really bad consequences about it, because I guess FIFA is doing an investigation now, and like the player could be banned from the game, and like he could be fired. And another interesting thing that happened from the semifinals is that um, so one of the rules of FIFA, and this happened because there was a Palestinian flag that was waved around, and there were a couple of flags that were waved around that were that had political implications, and so FIFA made this rule that there were supposed to be no political messages, nothing that meant politics was allowed to be in the games by the players or by the fans. Like fines would happen, whatever. And then the semifinal game was between England and Argentina. And Argentina and England had a little bit of a war in the 90s and the 80s because of the Malvina Islands, what in English is known as the Falklands. In Spanish is the Malvina Islands. And I guess I will say I do think that England took the islands unfairly from Argentina. I don't know much about the war itself, but at the end, the British kept those islands and Argentina lost them. And so, fast forward to the match between England and Argentina, and Argentina, when they won that game, they came out with this white cloth that said the Malvinas belong to Argentina. And that also didn't settle well because it was considered to be a political message. They can also get fined for that. And England was because obviously a lot of Argentinian players play in the English league. They were they were saying that they might take away the work visas from the players, so they may not be able to come back to play in the country in England. And I think that is crazy. That would be crazy if it actually happens. Who knows? I don't think it's gonna happen, but there's rumors that that could happen. Like at some point, Argentina lost control of the whole thing and just went into losing the game with Spain, and just like show some bad sportsmanship, and now the whole world is against them. And I think that social media is like making the hate bigger than it is. Like I don't think there's actually that much hate for them, and I think Messi is keeping all of his fans where they are. Like they love him because obviously he was a great player in the last 20 years that he played. So it's well deserved what he has earned and what the legacy that he will leave. But I think that people have had a bad image of what Argentina is like. Now, talking about Spain, now that we're done with Argentina, that is all that I have to say about them. And also, actually, I will say one more thing. Argentina has a bad reputation over the years since the Diego Armando Maradona goal, since because that was a hand, and obviously people recognize that. And for many years, Maradona was a star, or that's what he was considered. But then when people realized that his goal was cheating, that's when the image started falling apart, you know. And I think Messi was a big help towards keeping their image up. But now with this World Cup and all the help and all the alleged cheating, their image has started to fall down again, you know, and they lost and they reacted really badly to it. And so I think the world has taken it even worse now. So that is terrible. But now that we're done with the Argentina part of this, let's talk about Spain, because Spain won their second World Cup. The first one they won in 2020, in 2010. There's like some crazy coincidences with this World Cup that happened right now and the World Cup that happened in 2010, and both times Spain won. One of the first coincidences was that the start of the World Cup was that same day, same date, June 11, and the first match was also a Mexico South Africa. Back then in 2010, South Africa was the host country, so they had the first match. And randomly, Mexico and South Africa ended in the same group, and so their first match was a Mexico South Africa. And then this year, Mexico was the host country, so the match was and South Africa and Mexico also ended in the same group, and so the match was also a Mexico South Africa to open up the World Cup, and both times Mexico won. And that is just one coincidence. The other coincidence was that both World Cups, Shakira had the official song for the game for the World Cup. Back in 2010, it was Waka Waka, and then this year she made the song as well. That's another coincidence. When on their first match, the first match that Spain played this year was against Cape Verde, and they drew. They didn't win. It was a tie, and so there was a lot of doubt on whether Spain was going to be able to pull it off or what the deal was going to be. And in 2010, Spain lost their opening match of the World Cup as well. So that's another coincidence. There's like a lot of little things that happened on the road. Another one was that they in the one of the elimination rounds, I think was the eighth. They eliminated Portugal. The same thing happened in 2010. At the same stage, they eliminated Portugal, and eventually they got to win, right? So that is that they won. And I will say, I personally, I wasn't rooting for Spain. I didn't consider them at all. I did not want Argentina to win, so I kind of was hoping that Spain would win for that reason. I wasn't in favor of Spain as a whole or as a country for what they represent, and because they were our colonizers and they kind of did really shitty stuff on us. I was in favor of individuals, right? So I was in favor of Lamine Jamal, who's 19 years old, son of immigrant parents from Morocco. And so I was really happy that he got to win. And I was really, really happy that now all the racists in Spain, because a lot of like racist fans in Spain were kind of very mean to him and very, very bad. And so now they all have to take their hat off and thank him for winning this World Cup, you know. So I was really looking forward to that. And I also had some other players that I like. Mark Cucurella became a meme towards the end of the tournament with the cat and the hair and the song. The song was really funny. So I kind of was in favor of him, and also like a really cool person. So I was happy that he won. I was just happy for individuals that got to win this World Cup, you know. So that was nice. Um, the other thing that went really viral after this game was obviously that picture, that photo of Messi showering Lamine Yamal when he was a baby. Apparently, Lamine Yamal's parents put in they entered like some kind of competition to have their baby be in a photo shoot with stars from the Barcelona, which Messi was obviously a player from for Barcelona for his whole career basically, and so they won, and Messi was going to take pictures with holding Lamine, but he was too nervous, so they ended up making up so that he would be showering the baby, and who would have thought that that baby would be playing this final against Messi. That's just a crazy thing from destiny, right? I think the chances of that happening were like 1 in 1 million, like even more, like 100 million. Like that was so little possibility of happening, and it happened. So that was another really weird thing of this World Cup. But at the end, I mean, won over Messi, and so that was that. But that's the end of it. Now we have to wait till 2030. Spain, Portugal, and Morocco will be having the next World Cup. I hope. One of the biggest criticisms of this World Cup was that it was going to be too many countries. 48 countries was going to be crazy. I can't wait to see 48 more countries next year. Hopefully, like I think that made it even more interesting. So hopefully there will be more. And now we just get to wait. So that was the World Cup. Now we get to go back to our normal programming and our normal sports. Obviously, Liga MX is happening already. I don't have my shirt underneath me anymore, but I am watching and I am excited for my team. So I will keep watching that. This World Cup also left me a haircut. I was when Mexico lost. I was so sad that I went and just chopped all of my hair off. So I am happy about that. But now we get to wait for more years to see if maybe our beloved Mexico can win a World Cup.